Is it just me, or does a coma sound pretty good right now? Do. Well, lock up your textbooks and get out your number 2 pencils, kids, because it's time for a pop quiz. What is the greatest threat to humankind? Is it A, Donald Trump and white supremacists, B, Vladimir Putin and nuclear war, C, Stephen Colbert's career, or D, gargantuan food and energy shortages combined with economic decimation? Now, if your answer was A, B, C, or D, then I have an overused soundbite for you. Mere words cannot describe how incorrect you are, and judging from your blatant ignorance, you'll most likely end up with a life worse than Trevor Noah's. And that poor bastard only has one line of work that he's actually qualified for: part-time temporary clerical work. Expectations? Consider yourself subverted. The correct answer was obviously F. Global climate murder warming change. God damn it, you asshole. Just accept the fact that the planet is dying. Dying from fire. You want proof? Fine, I got your proof. If it please the court, I'd like to present Exhibit Infinity, Hurricane Ian. There has literally never been a weather event of this magnitude to ever happen in the history of humans. And it's all because of climate death warming and racism. I'm not fucking around on this one. The trapper keeper of the science has been perfectly clear on this. Hurricanes did not exist before slavery happened, and even if they did, the blacks invented hurricanes, and a white guy probably took credit for it. And I think it's safe to assume that white guy was probably an ancestor of Ron DeSantis. Just look at that prick. He looks like he's been up for days just trying to spearhead relief aid for his citizens. And that is not what an elected official is supposed to do. Yo, Ronnie, you want to know what a real leader looks like? You need not look any further than Vladimir Zelensky, because trust me, this dude knows the score. Zelensky's country may be under siege, but you gotta admit the man does know his priorities. As we already know, it doesn't matter how you lead. All that matters is how you look for your appearances at award ceremonies, meetings with celebrities, and speeches for fraudulent charities as you pretend to lead. And because you're sleeping 18 hours a day, you also get the benefit of never having to worry about shaving or changing your clothes. It's actually a pretty sweet deal. Not to mention the billions upon billions of dollars that still remain unaccounted, but I guess that's just one of those minor details that don't require any further explanation at all. And I suppose now is as good a time as any to get down to some brass tacks, because you need to be doing more to pull your weight. Right now is the perfect time to take a fourth mortgage out on your house to buy yourself an electric car. Make sure to fill up your freezer with yummy bugs for the protein, and for the love of God, whatever you do, do not heat your home this winter. These are the sacrifices that you'll need to make in order for the Ukraine to defeat the entire country of Russia. But hey, if there's any bright sides from this war, is that the ultimate energy shortages that'll plague European citizens will actually be a good thing for the planet.
Look, there's a lot of hard work to do to make sure that countries and partners get through the winter. Europe itself has taken very significant steps to both decrease demand, but also look at ways to pursue the transition to renewables at the same time. And ultimately, this is also a tremendous opportunity. It's a tremendous opportunity to once and for all remove the dependence on Russian energy, and thus to take away from Vladimir Putin the weaponization of energy as a means of advancing his imperial designs.
So if anything, we should all be thanking those filthy Ruskies for inexplicably blowing up their own pipelines and dumping ungodly amounts of natural gas into the Baltic Sea and creating one of the biggest ecological disasters in recent memory. Now, if you're one of those types who thinks that there could be other culprits involved in that, then you need to shut your dirty little mouth, because you have no reason to suspect that the US government had a hand in the Nord Stream pipeline bombing.
Now, to make it definitive, the destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline, which I would bet was a U.S. action, perhaps U.S. and Poland.
What evidence do you have of that?
Well, first of all, there's direct radar evidence that U.S. Helicopters, military helicopters that are normally based in Gdansk, were circling over this area. We also had the threats from the United States earlier in this year that one way or another, we are going to end Nord Stream.
Now, with the US consistently antagonizing Russia, it seems like nuclear Armageddon is all but inevitable, and you might be thinking that nuclear war is a bad thing. And you know how I feel about you thinking you shouldn't. Ever. You should be excited for nuclear war. It'll be a great weapon in the fight against the changing global climate death massacre. Mainly, it'll eradicate a major portion of the world's population, rendering the Earth inhabitable for decades. But at least all of the dust that is kicked up into the atmosphere from countless thermonuclear warheads will block out the sun and lower the temperature. It technically is climate change, only in reverse, and that's a good thing, probably. Alright, I will be the first person to admit that things might be looking a little grim, but don't worry, I'm here to confirm that the health and the safety of our celebrities, politicians, and billionaires are firmly secured. All of the important people and massive pedophiles from coast to coast have already got their fallout bunkers ready to go and will survive any form of nuclear holocaust. Even octogenarians like Klaus Schwab, George Soros, and even that stupid, god-awful, worthless little cunt Nancy Pelosi will be fine in their hyper-luxurious bunkers. And as for you, well, when you and your family ultimately get annihilated in nuclear hellfire, you can die knowing that you're sacrificing your broke ass and the life of your family to save the planet from getting a little bit warmer. And if you don't think that makes any kind of sense, then maybe you and your unwashed little brood deserve to be burned alive in a nuclear firestorm. So choke on that while you freeze in your basement, you little bitch.
What is up, Mahones? Arston the Unclean here. Want to take an hour out of my no longer busy schedule to give a heartfelt thank you for checking out the new video. If you think getting to your age without experiencing a nuclear holocaust is probably a good thing, then maybe go see what that like or subscribe button has to offer. You never know, it just might change your life. That comment section is looking to start up and settle a few arguments, so go on ahead and help that section complete its purpose. Today's subject is Betamax players. It's looking like the road to hell is getting ever so bumpier, folks, and it's times like this I'm often reminded of a quote from the late great Douglas Adams, the author of the legendary Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, when he simply says, "Don't panic. Do what you need to do to protect yourselves and those you love. Be a good neighbor, and as always, thank you for caring, and I'll see you in the gulag."